Well, hello, LinkedIn network and members. Thank you so much for joining this LinkedIn live session. It's my honor and pleasure to be joined by two colleagues, and I appreciate their time because it's late in India. They're both based in India. So Sayantan, Divyang, welcome to this LinkedIn live session.
Thank you.
Yeah, so today...
Thank you. Thanks,
Yep.
Brian. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, great. You're very welcome. So this session is really about this co-sell connector as it pertains to doing co-sell engagement with Microsoft. As many of you know, for those of you who are listening, if you're a Microsoft partner, all the things, whether you're an SI or in my case, I focus on global ISVs, this session is really intended to help you get a better understanding of what is this value, and let me share my screen here. What is this value of this partner automate connector to make co-sell easier to Partner Center? So before we get to introductions, a few caveats. One is that this requires you to actually be, of course, a partner in Microsoft and be utilizing Partner Center. This does not work with Partner Sales Connect. This only works with Partner Center, and it only works with two different CRM solutions, one being Dynamics, the other being Salesforce.com. So I wanted to set those two caveats. So quick way of introductions. My name is Brian Galicia. I lead our global ISV Biz Apps managed business globally. I have a team of 9. Some of you may work very closely with my team, either on the managed side or recruiting to be a part of this scenario. I have Sayantan from India and Divyang from India as well, from our team that actually builds this solution, and I'll allow them to share, do a quick introduction, and then I'll ask them a question to kick us off. So Sayantan, do you want to start off with a quick intro of yourself?
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for inviting us. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Sayantan. I work as a senior program manager in Microsoft. I'm part of the Microsoft Partner Center team, and leads and referrals area is one of the portions where I manage as a program manager. The connectors is an extremely dear project for us, and we are actually very happy to have onboarded so many of our partners to use connectors. Thank you. Over to you, Divyang.
Hey, this is Divyang. I'm a senior software engineer in Microsoft Partner Center referrals team, and I'm glad to be here. And I share the same sentiments as Sayantan mentioned earlier.
Great. So thanks so much, guys. And throughout this process, please encourage you to engage. I'll occasionally pop your names up here. So Marcel, welcome from the Netherlands. We definitely want to have engagement. So I know we have a global organization, whether you're watching from Europe, the Netherlands, for example, or you're watching from North America, or maybe you're up late at night in Asia and Australia. Welcome. So we definitely want to have this engaging. So please, 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 if you have any types of questions as you're learning and listening, please put it in the comment section. And if we have an opportunity, I definitely want to bring up those questions, because we do have the experts related to this connector to Partner Center. So before we get kicked off, Sayantan, what's one thing, well, for both of you, the question I have for both of you is, what's one thing, so people can get to know you virtually, what's one thing that doesn't exist on your LinkedIn profile that you'd like to share?
Sure. So I'll go first. Divyang can go follow that. So it's extremely, a surreal experience to be working in Microsoft, because as part of Microsoft's charter, we try to empower every organization and every person on this planet to achieve more. So as part of our journey as a product manager or program manager, or from part of the engineering organization, the kind of features that we create, we always think about empowering everybody in the community. And that is something which doesn't come out very clearly from the LinkedIn profile. But I just want to ensure that everybody in Microsoft is trying their best to ensure everyone in the society achieves much more. And today, something that we are going to talk about would actually help partners or anybody in the ecosystem to manage their leads and referrals extremely well. So that is probably one thing that I would like to talk about.
Yeah. Thanks, Sayantan. Divyang, before we get started with let me pull up the agenda here. What's one thing that you'd want to share about yourself that isn't on your LinkedIn profile?
Well, I'll share too. So outside of work, I like to spend time with my kids, and also reading up on financial markets or automobiles.
Fantastic. What is your favorite automobile? What's your favorite car? I'm huge into cars as well. What's your you have a favorite car that you aspire to, or you actually drive yourself right now?
Well, I aspire to, like, Lamborghinis, or even yeah.
I would love, yeah, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. Fantastic. That's great. So let's go ahead and get started. Sayantan's actually going to walk us through this first part, and then we're actually going to showcase live how this actual connector works. So a couple things. We're going to seed the conversation with why this is important in regards to how do you drive effective co-sell, whether you're an ISV or you're an SI with Microsoft. Why is this important to drive more effective co-selling? Do a quick introduction, and then we're going to show you how to get started in the documentation and kind of best practices with what Divyang will show in real time. So Sayantan, why don't you walk us through these first few pieces of content to kind of kick off the information and insight.
Sure. Thanks, Brian. So in Microsoft, we know that when we work together along with our partner community, all of us can accomplish much more than what we do today. So as part of our shared commitment to growth, Co-Sell with Microsoft is the path for you to be discovered, deliver your expertise, and expand your customer footprint for positive customer outcomes. This better together selling approach delivers enriched value and specialization to help customers in their digital transformation needs. Together with the Microsoft sellers community and our commercial marketplace, you may showcase your solutions to millions of customers, bidirectionally share these opportunities with other Microsoft and partner sellers, and jointly sell innovative solutions to create valuable customer relationship. So even for the sake of reiteration, I would say that co-selling with Microsoft is defined as any kind of collaborative engagement between Microsoft and our partner ecosystem, including building demand, sales planning, sharing sales leads, accelerating partner-to-partner empowered selling, and delivering marketplace-led commerce for customer transformation. Through the co-sell motion, you should be able to enrich your customer offerings with your innovative solution, create sales strategies, and build an account plan. Now, Co-sell now describes the continuous engagement that we have with partners, from creating awareness campaigns to demand generation to sharing of leads, selling post for their.
Well, we might be running into, unfortunately, some little bit of challenge with Sayantan's message here. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue through this conversation, and then we'll bring him back in once we get an opportunity to his network connection comes back online. So the biggest takeaway of this is that when we think about co-selling with Microsoft, it is a combination of our engagement and your partner engagement to come together in this transformation. And part of that is either Microsoft will send a lead to you, or you will send a lead to Microsoft. And we know that Partner Center itself adds an additional step for you to engage in that process. But being able to have a connector that we're going to go and show makes that capability a little bit easier. So Sayantan, you had dropped out a little bit.
I think, okay, is it better now? Oh, okay, thank you.
Oh, maybe not. Okay, so hey Sayantan, we're just going to go through this. I think it's cutting out. So I'm going to go ahead and get through these additional slides, and then we'll go pass it over to Divyang to actually get to the meat of the conversation, which is what is this co-sell connector and how does it work and how do you actually get started? So when you think about every partner can co-sell with Microsoft, it's really true. I mean, there are so many scenarios and engagements. So whether, again, you're a Biz Apps ISV, an Azure ISV, or a Azure or a Biz Apps or a Teams Modern Workplace SI, you do have this capability to deliver and drive these back and forth scenarios that, of course, have to run through Partner Center to be able to deliver on the capability to see and engage in content. So let me see here. I think Sayantan may be back. I'm going to try it one more time. So
hi,
Sayantan,
I am back. Hello. Hi, I'm extremely sorry to get disconnected. So I think Brian, you covered some of these pieces. There are a couple of things that I want to just talk about. So today there are different channels of co-sell. So one is kind of a direct customer, which is via our web direct stores, which is AppSource, Azure Marketplace, and the solution provider, including our Microsoft Commercial Workplace, and that marketplace, and that helps you to reach millions of buyers in more than 140 geographies across the globe. Secondly, we have partners who can work with each other to create integrated solutions through both IP and managed services to holistically address customer needs from end to end. And partners are encouraged to work to scale together and tap into this rich community of skilled partner seller to meet the ever-growing cloud demand. And finally, we have the Microsoft Salesforce, with whom the partners can work with and help generate and share co-sell opportunities. Now, this essentially brings to us the question that, hey, who can co-sell with Microsoft? And the answer is that every partner. So all partner solutions, applications, service offerings across all solutions area and industry scenarios in every geography for every size of customer, you can co-sell over here. With our three solution areas, which is business applications, applications and infrastructure, data and AI, and modern work and security, there's a place for you to thrive here with us. It's important to know and understand that the four different pillars of co-selling are that you can either directly sell or resell Microsoft solution. You can sell associated or managed services with the Microsoft solution. You can do a collaborative selling of IP solutions of Microsoft technology, or by combining forces with another partner to build and sell a comprehensive Microsoft solution together. Now, you may choose to adopt one, some, or all of the co-sell scenarios depending on your business. The upshot is that every partner can easily leverage our global brand, sales team, and distribution networks to broadly reach customers, sell applications and services, and accelerate growth. Yeah, Brian, if you could go to the next slide. Thank you. So as Brian actually set out the context, that this is primarily applicable to Partner Center. Now, Partner Center is envisioned as the one-stop experience for all our Microsoft partners to maintain the business relationship with Microsoft. So starting from getting onboarded into commercial marketplace, putting up, ingesting your offers in commercial marketplace, storefronts, managing the leads and referrals management system, your competencies, your benefits, your analytics, certification of your offers. Partner Center is the one-stop experience for you to have that connect with Microsoft. And this particular piece is primarily around the leads and referrals management system. Now, imagine you are a partner who is either receiving co-sell opportunities from Microsoft, or you are creating opportunities and trying to work with different partners or Microsoft as part of collaborative selling. Now, you have your CRM system, which for all practical purposes can be your source of truth, and you have all your opportunities, be it leads, be it referrals, listed in your CRM system. Now, Microsoft, when they send their opportunities, co-sell opportunities, it arrives in your Partner Center account. And this solution that we talk about, think of it as a true end-to-end CRM integration between Microsoft CRM and your CRM, with Partner Center in the middle. So any kind of leads and opportunities which you create today, which Microsoft creates today and wants to share with you, it lands up in Partner Center. And if you have the solution integrated with you, then automatically that solution is synchronized to your CRM system. And conversely, if you have created an opportunity and want to share with Microsoft, right, you would be able to create that be in your own CRM system, and automatically the opportunity would get synchronized in Partner Center, and from there Microsoft seller will get a visibility into that opportunity. So what it means is that the connector solution ensures a true bidirectional synchronization of information related to a co-sell opportunity between your CRM system and your Partner Center account. And since it is in the Partner Center account, Microsoft gets a visibility into the kind of updates that you are doing in the opportunity. So today there are various different modes of co-selling, right? That could be an active co-sell. You could also choose to create a co-sell opportunity and not let Microsoft intervene as part of that in an active manner. Or you could be working completely on your private opportunities. Or it's a sense that you would want to involve other partners and not Microsoft. All of these different scenarios for co-selling and for the bidirectional synchronization of such opportunities is today supported through the connector solution. So Brian, if you could go to the next slide, please. So what is it that you would need today in order to start using the connector solution? So the connector solution is today available in App Source. You can download the connector solution and you can install the connector solution in your Power Automate platform environment. You'd need to configure the connector solution. This is extremely important because as a partner, you can have the absolute leverage to determine from which direction you would like to have the synchronization. You can choose to synchronize information only from Partner Center to your CRM side, or you can choose to synchronize information only from your CRM to the Partner Center side, or in both the directions. So that is a capability which is available to you. Eventually, you would also need to do a little bit of customization because as you understand that CRM systems are extremely can be personalized to a lot of extent, and we provide a detailed field mapping guide for your customization. And once you have done, our recommendation is that you try out these things first in your landscape or your test environment. It's almost a one-click test when once you have done all the installation, configuration, and customization. And as you see that your opportunities are getting synchronized well in your test environment, you can go ahead and migrate that as a managed solution to your production environment. Now, this automatically brings a question as to how much time that you would need to devote in terms of doing this installation. Assuming that you have all your necessary security clearances or IT clearances available, the entire process of installation takes around 25 minutes. Your configuration of your workflows, which are part of the solution, would take around 30 minutes. And customization, the guideline is that for one set of customization, it would take around a couple of hours of your time at the most. And testing of these particular opportunities is almost real time. So in a day's time, once you have all your necessary clearances, alignment between your sales and IT ops team done, and you have the necessary packages which are available, it would be a day's job for you to get start running on the connector solution. So at this particular point in time, I would hand over to Divyang, who would actually show us a demo of the environment, and I'll come back later. And Brian, if there are any questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sayantan. So a couple of things, just a shout out to a few people. Thanks, John, dialing in from Chicago. We have James from the UK, Philippe from Belgium, and then Andrew. And this is a common question. Hey, can we get the slides and the content? So one thing I'll flash up right now is that we've compiled all this information in this specific link. If you want to take a quick screenshot or jot it down, aka.ms/LinkedIn Live Feb 01. It not only has the content, but of course, some of the critical things that Divyang is going to show to get started. A link to the app source listing of the actual application, as well as the kind of documentation to getting started. So with that being said, please keep the questions coming because we definitely want to kind of showcase and share some details. So I'm going to pass it over to Divyang to kind of walk us through kind of how do you get started through this process, and then what does it actually look like? Because I have asked the team to kind of showcase this capability so people can visually see what benefit this brings to you as a partner versus having to have people do all the things in Partner Center just to drive co-sell. So Divyang, we'll allow you to take the floor. Thanks.
Sure. Thanks, Brian and Sayantan, for providing that context. So I'll double click on the last two slides that were shown. One is where you had the Partner Center, the solution, CRM solution in between, and the CRM. So let me spend a minute or two there. So the screen that I'm showing right now is the Partner Center. Some of you may or may not be familiar with this. As Sayantan mentioned, this is a one-stop shop. Partner Center is a one-stop shop for you as a partner to manage your relationship, with Microsoft. And we are interested in this referrals left now today, and specifically the co-sell opportunities. This is where any co-sell opportunities that either you share with Microsoft or Microsoft shares with you will be visible. And this is where you can update, manage all the referrals that you have in your Partner Center account. The second area that I want to cover is the Power Automate. Power Automate is a RPA, robotic process automation software from Microsoft. It allows you to automate a lot of your workflows. The CRM connector solution that we have built is based on Power Automate. So you would need a subscription and an environment for it to get downloaded and use it. The third thing is your own CRM. This is, this should look familiar. This is your CRM where your sales team would work day in, day out to kind of manage the opportunities and leads for your company. Okay, having said that, I will dive into the last slide that we had, where we were talking about 4 points, right? Install, configure, customize, and sync. So before I start there were a set of prerequisites that we wanted to make sure are in place. So first is you have access to Partner Center account. You have a referral admin role in that Partner Center account so that you can view and manage the referrals. The second thing is you need to have a co-sell ready solution available that would show up in Partner Center. The third thing is you need to have a Power Automate account, a subscription, and an environment created. Maybe you already have an environment or you want to create a new environment depending on what the options are. And you should have that already set up and ready for you to install this. And the last thing is you would need CRM admin privileges so that you can do a bit of configuration and customizations in the CRM. So these are the set of prerequisites that we want to have it in place. Once you have that, I will move to the very first point, which is installation. Now, installation you could do in two kind of ways, and you can initiate that in 2 different ways. You can land in AppSource, Microsoft AppSource. You can search for Partner Center, and it will lead you to this page where you can essentially say get it now and start the installation. Once you do get it now, it will guide you through multiple steps of agreeing to terms and conditions, and then eventually selecting the Power Automate environment that you created in the prerequisites. And once that happens, I will switch over to the Power Automate account that I have. And once that happens, within a matter of about 20 to 25 minutes, the solution will get installed in your Power Automate account and that specific environment. Now you can click on See History while it is installing to see what is the progress and how it's proceeding. And once the solution is completely installed, you would see something like this, the very first line here, the solution that has been installed in your environment. The second option is you can land in your Power Automate account, click on AppSource, and then search and download it from there. Both the ways eventually lead into the same installation and in the environment that you provide during the installation. Once you have the solution installed, I will click on this and just show you what information it has. So it has a bunch of Power Automate flows, which essentially allow bidirectional synchronization information from Partner Center to your CRM, in this case Dynamics, and from Dynamics back to Partner Center. There are other bits and pieces about customization and configuration that I will cover. Once you have this installed, the second step is to configure it. And this step, it takes roughly about 30 minutes. And there are about 3 to 4 different pieces of configuration that you would need to do. First is you would need to set up connections, and the connections essentially allow Power Automate to talk to different systems, and these systems is Partner Center and the Dynamics. So what you would do is you would come here, create a new connection for Microsoft Common Data Service, which essentially connects to your CRM, provide your credentials there. Similarly, you would create a connection for your Partner Center referrals and Partner Center events connector. And the credentials that you provide here are the prerequisites that we talked about earlier, where you need to have the referral admin role. That's step one. So you have created all of your connections. The second step is you would go to solutions, and there is a default solution. And under that default solution, you would see these 3 connection references. So essentially, the connections that you have created in the earlier step, you just tie it here so that these connection references can use those connections that you have created earlier. So essentially, you just select, it will drop down and it will only select, or it will show the relevant connections here, and you tie them together. So this step, you have created 3 connections and you have 3 connection references. You tie them, all of them together. That's the second step. Third step is you want to make sure that all the solutions, you want to go back to your solution that was installed and make sure that all the flows are activated. And the status of these flows, you will see it in the extreme right corner where the status says on. If some of them are not turned on, you can right click and say turn on, and it will get turned on. So that's the third step. You want to make sure that all the flows as part of the solution are activated and turned on. The next step is to tie the solution that you have and the flows that you have with webhook, which essentially allows any referrals that are created or updated in your Partner Center. When any of those referrals get created or updated, your flow gets triggered and it knows to sync from Partner Center to CRM. So for that, what you would do is you would open a flow that is there in the solution called Partner Center Webhook Registration, and you click on Run. When you click on Run, it will ask you for a few information. One is what is the HTTP trigger endpoint, what events you want to register, and whether you want to override it or not. The URL to mention here is another flow which takes care of synchronizing information from Partner Center to Dynamics. You click on the very first action here, copy the URL that you see, and then paste it here. Essentially, what you're doing is when any referral gets created or updated in the Partner Center, you want to make sure that this flow gets triggered. So you are just trying to connect the dots and make sure that it gets triggered. You would then go ahead and select all the events that are mentioned here and click on override yes and run the flow. At this point in time, you are almost done with your configuration. You have installed your solution, you have configured and added your connections, and you have set up the webhook registration. So that is what you would need in your Power Automate account. The last piece of configuration that you would need is in your CRM. And if you notice here, there is a section here which says Microsoft Partner Center and Microsoft Solutions that have been customized and added into the opportunity form in the CRM. These fields get automatically installed when you install the solution. So all you have to do is a one-time task where you go and update the form and choose an appropriate location and add these appropriate fields and objects to your CRM layout so that it can be used. And the reason these fields have been added is this essentially gives the salesperson complete control over which opportunities need to be shared with Microsoft and which do not. So if I quickly walk through some of the fields that are available here, the first field is sync with Partner Center. By default, it is off. What this means is this opportunity will never get synchronized with Microsoft. So this gives complete control on which opportunity and at what point in time the opportunities can be shared with Microsoft. The rest of the information, the three fields below that, contains information about the referral that will get created in Partner Center, the link to the referral, and the program under which the referral was created. And this will probably make more sense once I show the actual sync that is happening. The rest of the information here shows about how or what option do you want to choose when you want to share this opportunity with Microsoft. So say, for example, you want to create a co-sell and you need help from Microsoft, in this case for a proof of concept or demo, you would select that option. And when you select this option, this referral becomes visible to Microsoft sellers, so they can see this referral and help you out in this co-sell opportunity. The second piece of
sorry, one thing, Divyang, I don't want to interrupt your flow, but we have a few great questions that came in during it. I think it's relevant to just pause and answer it. So John and Xavier had asked, when these leads get created, or these ones that we want to synchronize and provide visibility to Microsoft, how is it matched to a Microsoft account? So you can imagine some of these leads coming in, of course, for us to give the awareness to the right Microsoft seller, how do we drive that right connection so that that name that, let's say, the partner is entering matches the right Microsoft managed account? If you can provide either you or Sayantan some little bit of some background on how that matching works between the names that show up in a partner's CRM versus how do we match it to then our ultimate master account that then synchronizes to our CRM within Microsoft?
Sure. But I can help answer that. So as a partner, if you're creating a co-sell opportunity, for example, and you provide your customer details, please note that when you're creating an active co-sell request, which is where you want Microsoft or any of your partners to work with you in terms of fulfilling the customer need, sharing the customer details is extremely important, which is to say that, hey, this is the customer name, the account details, and the information about the customer. Now, once you have created such co-sell opportunity, that opportunity lands up in Partner Center. And from Partner Center, Microsoft seller gets a visibility into this particular opportunity. Internally, the customer account details that you have provided is being matched with our internal algorithms to our CRM systems account. Right, and then there can be different kind of situation where, for example, the account name doesn't match. So we do a lot of checking around DUNS ID. We do a check based on the customer first name and last name, so on and so forth. Now, even if that is not available today, there is a team which sits internally within Microsoft who does that, try to do the manual mapping between the customer account details. Now, even after that, there is not a match, and you see that your opportunity is not yet accepted by Microsoft for a certain threshold of time. What you could do is that for every co-sell partner today has got a partner development manager who is associated with you. You can always come and speak with your partner development manager by sharing the particular opportunity and the details, and the partner development manager will work with you in order to ensure that such a new account, a new customer detail is created in the Microsoft CRM system, and eventually the co-selling can happen over here. So the other question that I see, and since I just saw that question, I'll probably take is that is it only synchronizing on co-sell opportunity, or we are starting at leads over here? So present day today, the bidirectional synchronization happens for co-sell opportunities and some of the leads which are qualified by Microsoft's Global Demand Center. We, as part of our future roadmap, we are evaluating whether we would need this connector solution to be expanded to cover the leads bidirectional sync as well also. But primarily today, we say that it is it is synchronized bidirectionally synchronizing co-sell opportunities and leads which are coming from the Microsoft Global Demand Center.
Okay.
Thanks, Sayan.
Yeah. So go ahead, Divyang. You can continue on.
Sure, that's a very good segue into my last point, where we are talking about how to actually synchronize these opportunities. So, say for example, your sales team is working on this opportunity with a specific customer here. So far, it has not been shared with Microsoft. You keep on working on this, and at some point in time, you realize that this needs to be shared with Microsoft, and a co-sell referral has to be created. So at that point in time, what I would do as a seller is make sure that the account is tied to this opportunity. Another point is I go ahead and add a co-sell ready solution to this opportunity, and I'll talk about detail about how that was done here and how did it appear here in a moment. Once a co-sell ready solution has been added to this, and what help you need is selected, all you would need to do here is say sync with Partner Center and save. And this will take about a couple of minutes to synchronize. And while that happens, I'll talk about how this co-sell ready solution kind of showed up here. So we have created this custom object here. It is very similar to products layout that you would have in your CRM, where you can have the Microsoft solution details already added. This may be a one-time thing, if you're working on, or if you have few co-sell ready solutions, you can add them upfront. So all of your sales team can essentially just select one of them instead of typing it over and over again. So this essentially allows a lookup of your co-sell ready solutions. And you can add one or more co-sell ready solutions depending on the opportunity itself. So what you notice now, I refreshed it and this has already synchronized with Partner Center. How do I know that? There is a visual indicator here next to the opportunity name, which shows a tick mark. This essentially gives you a visual clue whether the opportunity is synchronizing correctly with Partner Center or not. In addition to that, you would see this referral identifier has been populated. This is the referral ID that got created in Partner Center. And at the end, you would see this. If you click this link, and if you have the right roles, if the salesperson has the right roles, they'll be able to see the referral in Partner Center. And towards the very end, there is an audit log, which gives you information about if there are any errors, or if the referral was synchronized or created in Partner Center correctly. So what I would do is I would go back and refresh this, and what you would see is you would see the opportunity that we just created right here. And you would see that all the information that was mentioned there in terms of what was the deal name, what was the estimated value, estimated close date, notes, the solutions that you had there, all of that got transferred here and got created successfully. Not only this, you can manage a complete life cycle of that referral right from your CRM. So you could mark it as lost, mark it as won, and all of that will reflect in Partner Center in near real time. Similarly, if you were to change some of the estimated revenue, and if you were to change some of the notes here, all of that again will get reflected there simultaneously. So this is one of the flows where you as a partner have a co-sell opportunity that you are sharing with Microsoft, and Microsoft can then be able to see and work on that opportunity. In addition to that, if you notice, you can get updates from Microsoft about this opportunity that you have just shared. In this case, it will be pending, and if it is accepted or declined, you will see additional notes in this section, and you would also see notes from the seller themselves. So this gives you detailed information without going into Partner Center on what is happening on the Microsoft side related to this opportunity. A second use case is, which Sayantan was mentioning earlier, is, say for example, Microsoft seller wants to share an opportunity with you. And in that case, this would land up in the inbound tab of Partner Center. And if you notice here, this is the opportunity that was shared by Microsoft seller. It has all the details that you would otherwise see. And in addition to that, you already see that it has been synchronized because this was created some time back. It has already been synchronized in your CRM. And if I show you this exact same opportunity here in the CRM, what you would notice is there are main three key additional set of information that you would see. One is the notes that I was mentioning about earlier. This gives you an idea about what the progress the opportunity is making on the Microsoft side, including the status, estimated revenue, close date, and the notes. The second thing that you would see is the Microsoft CRM identifier. This is the identifier of this co-sell opportunity in Microsoft's CRM. So when you talk to a seller or you talk to Microsoft, this will be an information that you could share, and then you could pinpoint this opportunity to the opportunity in Microsoft CRM. The last piece of information here is the Microsoft seller, in this case it was me, gets added to the stakeholders. So you can look at this contact, see the email address or the phone number that has been shared, and start communication with your seller, giving the information that you see here in the notes, as well as the CRM identifier that you have. So this three sets of information essentially allows you to understand what is happening on the Microsoft side for this co-sell opportunity without having to go into Partner Center and understanding that. In addition, for example, this has been shared with you as a partner, but it has not been accepted yet. It's accept or decline. You can do that right here from your CRM. So right now, if you see, it is on hold, which means it has not been accepted yet. If you want to accept it after talking to the seller or verifying other information, you just have to say in progress and save it. It will essentially accept that referral in Partner Center. Similarly, the other previous referrals that I was showing you earlier, I can mark it as as one, and it will correspondingly mark it as one in Partner Center.
Hey, so we have one quick question from Dennis. Let me flash it up here. So, sure. As this information inbound or outbound is happening, I assume that for the answer to Dennis' question is you could have an opportunity in Partner Center where it hasn't been synced to CRM, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So the once it lands into your Partner Center account, it takes about a couple of minutes to synchronize that in CRM. So similar to how I did a sync with Partner Center here in your CRM, and it took a couple of minutes. Same way, when it lands in Partner Center, it would take about a couple of minutes to land that up in your CRM.
Great. Thanks. I know we're getting a little over time, and I appreciate everyone listening because we intended to go 30 minutes, but all this is fantastic content, Divyang and Sayantan. So before we get to the next step in resources, is there anything else that you wanted to quickly highlight in the setup or configuration here?
Yeah, the last point is that a lot of customizations that are available. So this solution takes you to that 80% of the work. The 20% is the customization that you would need. And we have detailed documentation, which is linked up in the app source page, which will take you to the documentation, and that documentation will have all of the customizations that are available.
Great. So let's do this. Let me go to the last slide here that we have, and let me put back up on the window that we talked about. All this great information and content that Sayantan and Divyang had shared, we compiled some of the critical ones in this link. Not only does it have the slide deck that we were walking you through, but the documentation and the pointer to the actual solution in Marketplace App Source can be listed here, along with there's many other links. When you get access to the presentation in PDF format, all these links will direct you to the right type of resources. So I guess Sayantan and Divyang, we already kind of got a preview because someone asked the question of, hey, what's next? And of course, the what's next of this is evaluation of leads. But are there any other comments that you wanted to do and kind of wrap up?
Sure. I'll just wrap it up. Thanks, Brian, and thanks, Divyang. So I see a question from Greg, who is asking that how do we handle existing opportunities which are there in Partner Center? That's an excellent question. So this particular connector solution ensures that if you have your existing opportunities in Partner Center, which are not closed as won or lost, and even if you after that you install the connector solution, it would not go ahead and create duplicate opportunities in your CRM system. And that is to go also for the kind of opportunities that gets migrated from our older system, which is Partner Sales Connect to Partner Center. In that case also, it would not go ahead and create duplicate opportunities, although we do recommend that for the sake of simplicity you ensure that your opportunities in Partner Sales Connect are complete, and then you come to Partner Center. I want to leave with this particular thought today, saying that if you are a partner who's a scaled one, who has got such kind of multiple opportunities in your system, and you are involved in effectively collaborative engagement between Microsoft and other partners to drive positive customer outcomes, at every point in time, you would need to manually update your information on the co-sell opportunity in Partner Center and in the CRM system, right? And that is something which takes up a lot of time. That is something which is extremely manual and does not create any kind of value. The chief value proposition of this particular solution, and I wanted to say this once the demo is done, is to say that you as a seller can be only on your familiar CRM system, which is Dynamics or Salesforce, and manage the entire life cycle of co-sell opportunities which either you are creating or which are sent to you by Microsoft or any other partners. And what it also essentially forces us to think is that your sellers and your sales ops folks don't need any kind of additional training. They are on their CRM system. There is just a new component which is to say that, hey, these are the opportunities that I want to sync with Partner Center. You only need to play with that particular set of control, and you don't need to come back to Partner Center to ensure that your opportunities are synchronized effectively. That is all taken care by the connector solution. And as Divyang showed you all the notes section and all, this helps you to provide a good audit trail of everything that has happened with the opportunity, and you get to see that by just being on your end system, which is CRM. And as Divyang showed the CRM identifier thing, this is what drives home the point that this particular solution is a true end-to-end CRM to CRM integration between Microsoft and you. So that's what my parting thought is.
Great. That's I couldn't have said it better myself, Sayantan. I think that was a fantastic scenario. Divyang, anything else as a closing thought before we wrap up the live session?
No, nothing from my side. I think both of you have covered everything. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you so much, everyone. I know some of you were watching late at night or early in the day or wherever it is. Have a great Monday, or maybe it's Tuesday your time. Thank you so much, Sayantan, Divyang, for such a great, insightful session that I think I got some great comments from Dennis, from Greg, and hopefully many others. If you liked this type of scenario, you probably have noticed that we're trying to drive, at least from an ISV perspective within Biz Apps, trying to drive this LinkedIn Live event on a consistent basis. So if you'd like to be highlighted, if you have a topic that you think you would find value in, please do not hesitate to send me a message over LinkedIn, because we're more than happy to listen to feedback, because we want to make this valuable for the community. I will give a shout out to next week. We do have a session on AppSource and how do you generate leads. So this has been very specific to co-sell execution. A very common question that we get is, okay, I have my marketplace listing on the marketplace. What now? How do I get those leads going and flowing into the systems even before co-sell? So that's going to be a topic next week. Actually, it's going to be on a Tuesday, not a Monday. So if you're interested, you can look at my LinkedIn profile and actually have that event on my profile itself. But thanks again, everybody. Thank you again, Sayantan, Divyang, for the great insight. And talk to everyone soon. Thank you so much for participating.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.
Talk soon.
Thank you. Thank you.